Alexa Bliss recently made some big reveals about the future of her career, so we'll take a look at what she had to say. We'll also see what's going on with Edge, Roman Reigns, and much more. Let's start things off with this big update for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns will meet again at SummerSlam 2022. There wasn't much story behind how this match came into play. This is something that Drew McIntyre even talked about on SmackDown. But Brock Lesnar came out, and less than 10 seconds later, they're posting a graphic for a match between Roman and Brock at SummerSlam. So the entire act of showing up, skipping the line, and getting a main event title match without any reason or explanation is always going to feel pretty weird, no matter who the superstar is. But that's how things work. Sometimes superstars have to go through crazy obstacles to become a #1 contender, while at other times, all you gotta do is return, and you instantly get a title match. So it's strange how it works, but that's just how it is. Brock Lesnar is one of those superstars that can just show up and get those title matches at any time. After this match was announced, Roman took to Twitter to label it as Brock's last whooping, and now this seems like WWE is at least advertising this meeting between Roman and Brock at SummerSlam to be their final match against each other. Do fans actually believe that tagline WWE is putting on the match of last time ever? Most definitely not. WWE is going all in on promoting this match as the final meeting between Roman and Brock. But fans know that Roman versus Brock is their favorite fallback option when they don't really have anything else. These are the two biggest stars in WWE, so if WWE can't come up with good enough main events, they're always going to turn to Roman versus Brock. That's why fans aren't believing WWE when they call this one the final match between the two. The whole concept of it being the last match also appears to imply that Roman Reigns will win, because if Roman wins, Brock technically got his rematch and the story is done for good. But if Brock Lesnar wins, wouldn't Roman Reigns deserve a rematch? That's why the tagline of this being their last match together seems to be hinting at the idea of Roman easily retaining. Now, if Theory cashes in after the match, that's obviously a complete different story. But as far as Roman versus Brock, and with this now being advertised as the final meeting, it just makes sense for Roman to score another win over Brock Lesnar. Things won't get easier for Roman Reigns over the summer. If he's able to survive against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, he still has to worry about Theory and has to most likely worry about Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle in early September. So Roman is about to enter probably the toughest stretch of his title reign so far. Will he be able to defend his title throughout the summer and leave this summer season still as champion? It's going to be quite the challenge for sure for Roman Reigns. So what's the latest with Judgment Day? Well, they're about to have a lot going on in a few weeks. Finn Balor and Damian Priest returned to Raw this week to take on the Mysterios. Rhea Ripley was cheering them on from home and giving them instructions to take the Mysterios out. And it's something we talked about a few times since Edge left the group. But the Judgment Day doesn't appear to have a clear #1 option for when it comes to being the leader. Everyone sort of assumed that Finn Balor would be taking over as the group's leader, but that really hasn't been made clear. It appears that the Judgment Day are just all treating themselves as equals. Maybe that was their issue with Edge. Maybe they didn't know how he was in control and made the rest of the members feel like minions. So they got him out, replaced him with Finn Balor, and now they're all equals. That's the best sounding theory for when it comes to the leadership of the Judgment Day. Maybe they simply don't want a leader. But one of the three members may be out of a match at SummerSlam. Rhea Ripley is expected to be involved in the Raw Women's title match at SummerSlam in some way. Maybe it's a singles match, triple threat, or fatal four-way, but Rhea should most definitely have a role at SummerSlam. Finn Balor will most likely have to answer to Edge. The mystery teasers on Raw appear to be hinting towards Edge's return. And it's no secret at all who Edge is coming after when he returns. Edge is returning for the Judgment Day, but more specifically, Finn Balor. Edge is coming back with retribution on his mind, and he'll most likely start with Finn at SummerSlam. So Rhea and Finn would have a SummerSlam role, but where does that leave Damian Priest? Well, maybe he'll serve as a manager to Finn Balor at SummerSlam, or maybe Edge does bring in some surprise partner, and that SummerSlam match turns into a tag team match. So that'll be something to keep an eye on, but it appears that Edge will be a problem that the entire Judgment Day will have to deal with. Everyone is expected to see a dark and twisted Alexa Bliss return to WWE after her hiatus. Even after the therapy sessions, everyone was just expecting for something to go wrong and for Alexa to go back to her old ways. But what we've gotten so far has been the complete opposite. We now have a full normal Alexa Bliss that still, for some reason, walks around holding the Lilly doll. Alexa still coming out with Lilly in current day makes absolutely zero sense. If she's normal, she has new theme music, if she's moving on to a new era of her character, then why would you weirdly hold on to that Lilly doll? It kind of throws off Alexa's whole new act right now because just keep wondering why the doll is still there if it no longer affects her character and story. No one has an answer for why Lilly is still hanging around, besides the idea that maybe there's still a lot of Lilly merchandise to sell, so they're keeping Lilly visually on television for the younger fans to see and want to purchase. That's literally the only idea out there because Lilly doesn't impact the story in any way, shape, or form anymore. Alexa Bliss recently appeared on Out of Character and said that she had originally pitched to return even darker than before, and with a new version of Lilly. Alexa had this to say during the interview. Quote, "I wanted it to go even darker and deeper. I had Jason Baker come out with a sketch and prototype of a different version of Lilly, which would have been super cool. Obviously, with creative, things always change. I'm still holding on that this new version of Lilly will come out one day. We'll see." End quote. So Alexa's idea would have been great to see. She even closed out her comments there by saying that maybe there's still a chance to see this new version of Lilly and herself in the future. And if that's the case, if maybe WWE does consider turning Alexa back into the new dark persona in the future, maybe that does explain why Lilly is still hanging around in current day. Maybe Lilly is just hanging around as a backup plan, if they ever want to pull the trigger on that new version that Alexa had sketched up. Alexa has been back for a few months now, but still hasn't had much character development or storylines lately. But hopefully she gets into a program that will allow us to see how healed she really is, or if she's hiding something much deeper and darker. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.